Megapath presents The Junkyard Gang Explained from The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 10. It all started out with a boat filled with potential food and supplies, but it was just too risky to attempt it. Take or don't bother. That is the motto of the girl watching. And then Rick and Aaron come along, and they bother. They bother the shit out of the boat. The girl watching is from a junkyard community nicknamed the HEAPSTERS. By the cast, though, not officially in the episode. She ends up following them, locating Alexandria, and at night, she sneaks in. But Father Gabriel hears something inside the walls, and he goes to investigate. When he walks into the inventory room, he gets clobbered, and the girl is pissed. She's pissed about the missing supplies from the boat, so she makes him load up everything, and they get the hell out of there. But Father Gabriel managed to scribble boat in the notebook, the inventory notebook, which leads Rick and gang to the junkyard community, which is actually near the boat. Rick and gang get surrounded, and they get brought into the junkyard to speak with Jadis, who appears to be the leader, and Rick explains the Saviors are a gang that took the supplies, and they will eventually find the junkyard group, especially if they gotta come looking for Rick's group. So he asks Jadis to join them and fight the Saviors, and she laughs it off with a hell no. So a fight breaks out, and Father Gabriel steps up and he puts a knife to one of the members from the junkyard community's throat, and he explains that they're better off working together than they are fighting each other. This isn't good enough for Jadis, though. She doesn't want something later after the war. She says she wants something now. So Father Gabriel explains that Rick and group found him without any help whatsoever, and they found him quickly. Now he tends to leave out the part about him leaving a clue, but he's trying to sell it, and that's not a good selling point. So Father Gabriel asks Jadis what do they want now. Rick and gang will get it for them. And that's when Jadis takes the bait, and she tells Rick to go to the up. Yes, I know that's a ridiculous name. They should have just called it the on top or up top or something. So anyway, Jadis is curious, and she takes Rick to the green screen up in the sky. And this is where she explains their history, and she reveals, seemingly without fully realizing, their own very bleak future. But she says that they have been there since the change. They take, they don't bother. They are scavengers, finding food and supplies, but taking as little risks as possible to survive. But time is passing. Times are changing again, she says. Canned food is sometimes rotten, so maybe they'll have to change too. Maybe. She pushes Rick down a trash wall into an arena to meet Winslow. Now remember, this group will take they don't bother, and Rick shows that he's a fighter, taking a wound to the hand and a wound to the leg. And I think this is paying homage to comic book Rick, since he's missing his hand and he's got a wound to his knee. So after defeating Winslow in a very odd and family-friendly way, off-screen, Jadis makes the deal. Guns. A lot of guns. And they will join Alexandria in fighting the Saviors. So now Rick has some soldiers, but he just needs guns. And one person in their group knows exactly where to find a lot of guns. But it won't be easy. Wait a minute. What am I talking about? Of course it'll be easy. They're horrible at shooting the guns they got. So that's pretty much all we know about the Junkyard Scavengers and how it pertains to the main story, fighting the Saviors, and most likely how it will connect in future episodes. Now chances are, if you're a fan of the Walking Dead comic, this group has piqued your interest, and not only just for their involvement in the story, but just based off of how weird they are. If you look at how weird they are, this might be a subtle and sneaky way to create a new tone in the world of The Walking Dead, and this way when they bring in new future villains from the comic book, they won't seem as weird, since we've already had weird characters on the screen. We've had cannibals, but they were very realistic. We've had these other groups, but they seem to be very realistic. Negan can be cartoony at times, but they tame him down and make him very realistic. Now we got this scavenger group, and they talk real funny. They're wearing dirty clothes. They have a funky community, so they are pushing the boundaries of being realistic, but they can pave the way for another group that is just outright insane, and I mean this in a good way, because what's coming up most likely in The Walking Dead Season 9 is going to be epic, most likely one of the best seasons ever. At the end of 8 or beginning of 9, we really do not know, but I'm talking about what comes after Negan and the Saviors, and I'm in no rush to get there, but I'm just very excited for the possibility of getting there on the TV show, because that is some of the best story coming from the comic, and I think this Junkyard scavenger group might just pave the way for the odd group called the Whisperers, and I personally cannot wait. So I got a ton of messages about the scavenger group from the Junkyard, and I just wanted to put this video together, so I'm going to go ahead and get working on my in-depth discussion for episode 10 of season 7, and then after that I'm going to go ahead and work on the new best and worst of The Walking Dead video, hopefully coming out by the end of this week, or maybe even over the weekend. So keep an eye out for that. Leave your thoughts and opinions in that comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn.